Hey guys, so some things have been on my mind today in my personal life, and that's gotten me to thinking about what I'm reflecting into my own life and what I'm getting from my own life. Um, kind of like looking in a mirror at myself um, and asking myself, what am I getting from that image in the mirror? And when I started thinking that, I kind of started thinking about something that uh, it's called the Law of Correspondence. It's something that I've been studying up on lately. And the Law of Correspondence says that your life is really nothing more than a mirror image of our most dominant thoughts. And it ties back into some of the other laws that I've been talking about, being basically your life is what you think it is. Um, Maybe have you ever heard the saying that no matter where you go, there you are. If you buy a new car, but you have the same old mindset and you sit and worry, well, I can't afford the car. I really shouldn't have done this and this and that. You're not going to enjoy the car. So what happens eventually? You either turn the car in or the car gets, for whatever reason, you don't have the car anymore. Um, it doesn't happen. And when the reality in the world is what we see is what we get. But where is this law of correspondence, this mirroring image of ourselves projected outwardly? Where is it most notable? It's most notable in basically our relationships. I mean, look at it. Who you're married to says a lot about who you are. Look at your friends. Are you around positive people? Are you around negative people? Are you around people who are goal driven and taking things on and making an impact? Are you friends with people who just do the 9 to 5 thing maybe and come home and they're just grateful to have a roof over their head? Maybe you're around people who are really negative and have a lot of gossip, or whatever the situation may be for you. But that is a direct mirror of what you're projecting. What happens when something happens to, let's say, a friend of yours, and you say, oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're going through. I know exactly how you're feeling. The reason you say that is because you relate to it. When somebody falls on hard times and you say, oh gosh, let me tell you, I know exactly where you're at. I know what you're going through. It's horrible. It's nasty. I almost couldn't make it through it. I don't know how you're going to do it. That could be the negative side. When some people have a promotion, you can say, oh my gosh, it's so great. I remember, the hard work that I put in, and when I got mine, I can tell you, you must feel elated to have this promotion, this benefit, this positive thing. Congratulations. Because it's all about who you are and what you mirror. And another thing is your income. Your income is a result basically of how driven you are. The law of correspondence says that you're a mirror and you're reflecting back what you're getting out, and just vice versa. You're putting out what you are. You're seeing a complete mirror image of yourself in everything you do. Your income is one of those. If you just don't know how you're going to get by, you're always tight on money, but you're in the same boat every day. Nothing's changing. I'll use myself. I want to use myself for example. When I was younger, before any of my children were born, we're talking around turn of the century. I had this job, and oddly enough, it was working for a cemetery in a town I lived in. I loved the job. I loved the guys I worked at. I wanted to become a full-time employee so bad. I was only a part-time employee. And I shoved everything away because I wanted this job. But yet I sat around and I was upset about I never had any money and how hungry I was all the time. And, I was always upset with members of the local government because I worked so hard and I wasn't getting a full-time job. And I blamed and I argued. And the truth is, the income that I had, the life that I had, was because I valued this job so much. I was willing to put myself through all this turmoil, all this torment to have this job. And the reality is, the law of correspondence says, like, your income is a direct reflection of how driven you are. How driven are you? Not to get into a whole big story, but I got paid today, and I'm actually, there's no money left. What can I do? I got this rental house that I just finished up. I've got it on social media, putting it out there to try to get it. I've already got 2 people wanting to come look at it. I've got an entire basement next door to me full of pop cans that I've been saving over the last 5 years. I'm going to borrow a truck. I'm going to load it all up, and I'm going to take it to the recycling center a few towns over. I'm going to turn all that in and see how much I can get. There's 2 options right there for me to make money. I'm not going to just sit here and say, well, I kind of like my job. It lets me do what I want to do, and then just kind of be with it as that. Because I want my actual law of correspondence is saying, I want more out of life, so I'm showing that. But another great reflection of yourself is your health. How healthy are you? And what I'm talking is as far as eating and working out. When you set a goal to maybe lose weight, are you sticking with that goal because it means that much, or are you finding out, as I talked in the past about the law of belief? Are you letting your belief find a reason to talk you out of it? I can use myself again. I love to use myself as an example because I believe if you're going to talk the talk, you've got to be able to walk the walk. And I want to use myself. A year ago to this day, I bought a set of scales for my bathroom. I weighed 240 pounds. I'm 5'11". So I was fairly stocky for my height. Today I got on the scales. I weighed 190 pounds. I cut out soda. I started running 2 to 3 times a week, 4 miles, and I started making it happen. And I started noticing the weight started going away. It started disappearing. So I went out there and I just kept hammering and hammering and hammering. And I've even run when it's cold outside. I mean, me and my sons went a few times since the new year began, and it's been, I got to tell you, really cold. But that's the reflection of me. I've got people telling me now that haven't seen me in a little while. They say, oh my gosh, you've lost so much weight. You look great. That is the mirror image of myself that I want reflected. And it ties back into some other laws that I've talked about, cause and effect, about how you're talking, how you look, how you act. Are you smiling? Are you frowning? These are all going to mirror the effects of who you are. So I want to encourage you to take the time and really look at yourself and ask yourself, even if there's not a mirror there, pretend you're looking in a mirror, and I want you to ask yourself, what do you want to look at? What are you looking at when you look in the mirror? I don't care if you're broke. I don't care, I really shouldn't say that. I mean, because I absolutely do care. I wouldn't make these videos if I didn't. Maybe a better word is saying it doesn't matter if you're broke. It doesn't matter if there's a setback in your way. What matters is up here in your mind, and your mind is the most powerful tool in the world. They actually say, scientists and technologists say that they will probably never be able to create a computer that's as complex as the human mind, because there's so many parts of the human mind we haven't even been able to discover yet. The fastest computer cannot process as fast as the human mind. And that's an amazing thing, and it's a great thing, because it means that we have the potential to change what is reflecting off of us, who we are, what we want, how driven we are, how focused we are on our health. Remember, you are going to be a mirror of who's inside. Because Tony Robbins, great speaker, been around for about 30 years now. He's got this amazing quote, and I use this all the time. He says that everything in our external world, it started right there in our internal world. It started in our heart, our soul, our minds. That's what moves our hands. That's what moves our feet, our mouth, our eyes. It all comes from inside. So I want to ask you to just, take some time and really think about, look in the mirror, look in the metaphorical mirror of yourself, and ask yourself, what do you really see? What do you want to see? And then when you start looking at what you really want to see, start asking yourself good questions about how can you get there? What can you say? What can you do? Maybe maybe you just need to do simple little things. Sometimes I'll go get a haircut. Sometimes if I can afford it, I'll go buy a new shirt or an outfit, just so that I can start presenting myself how I want to carry myself. Sometimes I'll push myself to be even more outgoing. Whatever the situation calls, dare yourself to do it. And I guarantee you that one day you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to see the self that you want, and there's not going to be any regrets. Because the worst thing is to die and have regrets at your last breath. So I just want to encourage you today, look at yourself reflectively. What are you putting off? What are you attracting? What do you want the you in the mirror to be doing? And go out there and do it. Take care, guys. See ya.